Hey, Coach Wilcoxon here. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about hitting and batting practice, reps. Got my son in town from Nebraska for the holidays. And Mason Ulm is my neighbor who's going to Arizona Western next year. And we hit on the side of the house, got a batting cage out there. And it's nice. Obviously, I've coached my son his whole life, but he had some instructors back when he was a little younger because my voice didn't resonate as a dad, which happens. All you dads out there can relate, but seeing his growth and development as a really good hitter. Um, and then Mason, I met him as an eighth grader. Actually, he played with us on a club team way back when, and I've been coaching him since he's been a freshman. And he's a horse. He's 220 pounds and can hit the ball about as far as anybody in the state. So, but it's nice. They come over, and what I like is I try not to be a very mechanical instructor. And once you get to this point where I've had the relationship with both of these ball players, there's not a lot of teaching that needs to go on. There's tweaking, right? There's just little tinker here, tinker there. But when it comes to mechanics, I feel like obviously if I'm working with someone else I don't know and I see something that obviously needs to be fixed, we will work on that. But for the most part, I work with college dudes and they kind of have their own swing, which is something I'm real strong about. Is don't try to emulate someone else's swing. It's your swing. If you have somebody that maybe physically you match up to in the big leagues that you watch on TV, or really watching your swing, you should always watch your swing on video. Your parents get your bats, or you do it yourself. You should be able to see your move and compare it to somebody on TV. Most likely, it's someone who's going to be built like you, but not all the time. But it's your swing. So what we can work on is hands here, hands here. Are we open? Are we closed? Stuff like that. But the swing's never going to change because it's your fingerprint. And again, unless there's some really bad lags and casts and throwing, you know, but when you hit at this level, don't change the swing. There's no reason to change the swing. And what's been refreshing to me this last couple of days of working with both of them, they come over and we all do it together. And there's not a lot of talking. And what's cool is I see in their facial expressions and their eyes that they're working on something. The cool part is, for the most part, they'll tell me what they want to work on that day. I try to pick a speed. I think high 80s is top of effort. We're talking 88% effort. 86 is about my number. I don't know when I came up with it. I think it was probably Mason's freshman year, and it just made sense to me. My wife graduated in '86. Maybe that was why, but I don't know. The Broncos went to the Super Bowl that year, and then what's crazy is I saw an article today about sprinters, Usain Bolt, Carl Lewis, these Olympic sprinters. They they train to run at 85% effort in a race. They're going for the gold medal in the Olympics. They have honed their skills so when they run, when that shot goes off to win a gold medal, they're running at 85% effort. Crazy. Just saw it this morning. Thought it was awesome. But so what? Yesterday we worked, and I said, "Hey, let's. Why don't we go like 73, 75 today? That's it." And we're just swinging easy, but we're going to start earlier because we're not swinging as hard. We still want to make contact out front. And I mean, pitch 4 rounds to each. I flipped. I can't pitch anymore. I'll admit that. But I flipped 4 rounds of, probably 20, 25 swings each. So they got 100 swings in, 80 to 100 swings in 20 minutes, maybe 30 because we were talking in between rounds. But it's a loose environment, but it's no nonsense too. It's they're there to work, and when I can see that they're focused and they're working on something. Yesterday, Mason, we went about 75% first 2 rounds, outer half. That's all we worked on. And again, didn't talk about the swing much. There was a little move that we were tweaking, but mechanically, it was more visually, more mentally work, because these guys have honed their hitters, and there's too many times we get caught up in the stupid batting average, and we think about how we got to change something. Maybe I should swing like this guy on TV, or swing like this guy, or maybe swing like the guy in front of me that's on my team. No, don't change it. It's your swing. I mean, watch golfers. I mean, especially back in the day when I was growing up, every golfer had their own swing. Now they're a little bit more robotic, and you get the sports science in it and all that stuff. But and I watch stuff on Instagram, and it's like, look at this guy's front leg and look at his back elbow. Like, are you kidding me? Seriously? I mean, you guys, if you're old enough to think of Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn and Steve Garvey and Paul Molitor and Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, to Ken Griffey. I mean, Ken Griffey's got one of the prettiest swings I've ever seen. It was a long swing. Will Clark had a long swing. So they didn't change anything. And there's no reason to. You change this, you change your approach, you work on what you work on feels. Okay, the swing's never going to change. And I watched golf, and they talk about golf, and this guy's breaking down a swing when he crushes a driver, and the commentary guys breaking down the swing in slow motion, and he hits it right down the middle, and he talks about the moves and all this. And then the next guy, or the same guy, 4 holes later, duck hooks one off the reservation. He breaks that swing down. And he's trying to make it sound like it's different than the one I just saw 4 holes ago. The one that went right down the middle, the other one went out of bounds. It's the same swing. You can't see it. And I'm a trained golfer guy. I used to teach. And I mean, as much as Cal Ripken worked, every year he had a different stance. The swing never changed. So don't change the swing. Change how you train. Have a specific plan of how you're going to work that day, what you're going to work on. Don't deviate from it. And if things aren't working that day, quit. Seriously. Just stop. Just say, you know what? It's not working today. There's no reason to press. Then you're just going to start gripping. You're going to start swinging harder. You're going to create bad moves, create bad habits. But if you're light and you focus on this, let's go 75%, let's go 83%. We'll do a drill every now and then where we go, it's 55% 2 swings, 70% 2 swings, 85% 2 swings, 100% 2 swings, and then we go back to 85 and we go 5 swings. And those are feels. So we're not doing anything mechanically. We're not thinking about our hands, our elbows, or hips, or legs, anything like that. We already have our swing. Mason's 18. My son's about to be 20. Nothing's going to change with the swing. Nothing. There's no need to. You are who you are. You're playing at a higher level for a reason. You're in the top 0.05% of people on this planet that can hit a baseball the way that they do, the way that a lot of you guys do that are watching this. So train better. Don't change so much. What's successful at the plate is hitting the ball hard. It's not batting average. Take that batting average, crumple it up, throw it away, light it on fire, doesn't matter. Batting average is the worst statistic in take all the sports combined, it's the worst statistic out there. And it ruins so many good hitters, so many good ball players. That's it. Have a good one, guys. Merry Christmas.